Welcome to the ether experience. Yeah, I'm talking about. Before I go on in, I want to talk about the Miss Erica Badu Badu Badu. Now, I wasn't supposed to see that because I wasn't there. And I went into a little time warp watching her. I imagine that happens all the time. And I said, I would have loved to have been there. But see, the problem is, it would have been too many people for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be there, but it's too many people when she performed. You know what I'm talking about? The experience. Y'all like that a get up she had on when she reached a Texas? I do. I said she is channeling seduction. Everything about her is a channel. You know what I'm talking about? The part that I seen was an experience for real. She said, how many of y'all born in the 50s or something like that? I said, ain't nobody up in there. When she got to the 70s, the whole place shook. Y'all know I'm a 70s baby, right? I imagine if I would have been there and she said, how many of y'all are born in the 70s, I would have started flying all around there. Y'all catch that yeet? Y'all know that's Frisco business right there, right? I said, the strange estranged and the unusual. Imagine that. There's something called isekana when someone feels like they've stripped you of your manhood. When you no longer sound like Osa no Bafuma, they say, wow. You see, when you no longer had a, they want to know where it went. That's unusual. Either could do, I sure can. Because that's my universe father. I seen something interesting. We're talking about the unalive row records right now. When I seen that emblem there, I said, Baphomet. Do they realize that that is Baphomet there? That's unusual. First of all, the depiction on that card, which my deck is beautiful, the one I purchased. I don't remember the name of the deck. That's the big G. Because what I know for a fact is if anyone would ever encounter that deck with all of the mixture of Nasifi, Najers, Netarus, Offici, Kinasi, Osaso, Enisias, all of that up in there. Because y'all think it's Najers all the way, which y'all call Egyptians. And that is not accurate. You would get a dupe. You would not get the artwork in its true form, nor the stock. That means you would get trash. That deck cost me almost $90. You understand? When I get a deck that cost me more than $50, that is a keeper. Y'all, you sitting up there feeling like, you see, when I had Miss Cleo's deck, I said, this the most accurate one right there. That was the cheapest deck that I ever purchased. But it was the most accurate. But when you start going up in there in the 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s, 400s, them are the keepers. And that image that you see there is not Baphomet. That is someone else. They know who that is. They know who that is. See, y'all feel like y'all just have epiphany and light bulb moments, and you just come up with a design that has never been seen. And that is not what it is. You are channeling Osafio. That's what you're channeling. And it's for a reason. Yes, the bull is Baphomet, not the goat. Y'all have to understand that all of this stuff means something. If you're not in the right place and you're using all of that stuff, you're going to get distorted energy off top. Nothing but distortion. If you really want to know what happened, you would be getting a reading. See, y'all want the money. So y'all keep reiterating, rehashing old stuff. You want the money that comes from talking about individuals that have passed over. How you figure you gonna make more money than them? Like y'all don't realize what a hexagon is? You gonna find out. Cause they is not playing. See, the thing about the re-entrance, when I see a lot of people say, I ain't stopped making music. I ain't, oh yes you did. See, if y'all wasn't putting the add on to it, you would understand that you been stopped making music. It been stopped making dollars. So it don't make sense. Put that in your bar. I said, I can spot when something is off. But the thing about individuals that are inspiring, right? At some point they start noticing others that are truly inspirational. And they figure they ain't seen. They not seen, they hidden. So let's just borrow this, borrow a little bit of that, and then everybody will say I'm the first to do it because I'm the oldest, type ish. For the mothers of grown adult children that are in the industry, whether or not if they're underground or not, I sympathize with you because you have to play your position in the back. And so that means a lot of times, you know, they're going to have to take one on the chin. And you just going to have to sit back and observe it. And the reason for that is, depending on what energy you encounter them in, is going to determine the outcome. You know, I did a bunch of windmilling for mine, but mine's is spiritual. You know, and the thing about when you windmill spiritual, it's no fingerprints. You know what I'm talking about? There's no camera. There's no footage. I believe that certain people have fooled themselves into believing that they are accepted. The truth about ascending to become an archangel is it has to be done in every place. That means this version has to ascend, that version has to ascend. And a lot of times, you don't end up being an archangel in every place. Some places you gotta be a Sakina. Some places you're sobrina Tashi. And to break the sobri energy down, that means I could do it, but you can't type ish. You know what I'm saying? I could say this about the big G because I'm living that experience. But you can't because you're not me. Estranged. You know what I'm talking about? You know, there's like a little smidget in a timeline where something pops off, right? It's kind of like my era, we would say 15 minutes of fame. You could be known, well known in one region, and you will mistake that for being known worldwide. But when you are a Sekena, you're universal. So that means universes, not one. Gotta put the on it. Some want to know why I'm not in the music industry. Because I'm a poet. I would get up there and I would recite poetry. And then I say, and then it'll be a couple of, yeah. Y'all know what? My timeline is looking iffy. It's looking iffy, y'all. And because it's looking iffy, I'm getting a mixture of everything. Stuff I like, stuff I don't like, stuff I believe. I got the other side of the game on. Cause that's the thing about when you get like a little smidget on a timeline, you could create your own narrative, but not just that. You formulate your own opinion, right? Opinions do matter to the person that is formulating it. When you're in the energy of see, where you wanna act like you are telling me what to say, they do that. They're not blinking you. What they're doing is blocking your thoughts. You know, it let me tell y'all, right? For the ones that are really interested in what I got to say. There's a group that believes if they come in here when I'm on live, that they could do certain things. And then the Asikinas go to work because you're here. You know, I was going to say that it's some that have forced connectivity that were so happy when I eradicated all of the noise coming from the ET region. When I just shut it down and they were no longer hearing chewing on bones and all type of stuff. They said, "Ether did it. Now we could talk." And then they proceed to plot on celebrities, their offspring, people that they work with, people that they see on a daily basis. Oh, y'all didn't know? I'm a topic in the cosmos. We're not gonna fool ourselves into to thinking or believing that we are the only ones that be. I'm a topic. The Greys know who I am. The reptilian, the Dracos. I call them draconians because that's what they are. The Palladians, the Zetas, the Kryptos, the Lyrians. They know who I am. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the truth. While I'm here, I'm going to say that humans do not ascend like that. It is beings and human beings that ascend like that. This is why they'll say you were cray, because they don't hear the stuff that you're hearing. Now you know if you encounter someone that hears things, they are a being. You know when you see that dude or that female walking down the street and they're talking to someone that you can't see, that they're actually communicating with something, although you can't see them. You do realize that we have a reptilian part of our brain. Come on now. This is something that has been documented. Most know that certain parts of our brain has been shut down because they do research. They say this part has a lot of activity here, but this is dormant here. Why is our brain so big and we're only active on one side or in this portion here? Because on the other side, you're active somewhere else. Voila, case closed. Let me tell you, I said in one of my readings, y'all, I said, don't drink no cold frappuccinos. I said, do not put the iced coffee down. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about that time. Little stuff like that. Y'all expect me to say, "I'm not gonna sing a song shaking now." You know, all the time. You want me to say, the philosophical iscafino and the ascatino, it causes a appetino. You want me to be like that. And I'm just simply saying, don't drink no iced coffee. Because you're going to find out. Just like that. When you heard them say, the reason why you so ill is because of all that food that's from the sea. You upchucked. Y'all know what? I got caught up in the vitamin regimen, right? Mine was years ago. Mine was like, let me see, 9 years ago. It's funny how it's just reiterated and rehashed, right? Listen, I said sea moss. Cause then I was working out, you know what I'm saying? Jumping on couches and stuff. I used my whole living room as a gym. I I I wanted to see how high I could jump. I told y'all. I said, let me give me some sea moss. It came, I said, this looks strange and unusual. Then I thought about it. I was like, I don't like seafood. I took one, I didn't even take a spoonful. You know how you just put your tongue on it and I said, do nothing for me. I gave it to my son. And you know what he did? What he doing in the back seat? It's probably still there. Sea moss nasty. Oh, y'all, before y'all do it, right? But it's lemon and baking soda. Listen, it only works once. That's it. That's all I'm telling y'all. Y'all want to be alchemists without no experience. So you gonna find out. I'm just catching the energy. That's all. That's all, y'all. I'm just catching the energy. I'm talking about the strange, and the unusual. This version that y'all got, they put additives in it. You know, y'all wasn't smart enough to say, well, let me do my research, because sea moss don't look like that. Why y'all don't be doing y'all research? Y'all don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, I had like goo gobs of vitamins. The BG say throw it away, because you don't need it. It's brand new. I ain't even open it. Throw it away. All right. Some of y'all got one foot in spirituality and the other in a different plane, and then your third eye is in reality. How that work? Like, it don't work like that. It's some that are only here because when I'm on live, all the noise stop. You can see me at PEKA69. Once again, that is PEKA69. Because if I come back home, you won't have access. The world just keeps on spinning, spinning. Listen, Miss Badu 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 Badu. She said the black box. I said, did she say a black er? Put a pow in front of it. She said box. Just like that, she heard me. I said the black box. Then I looked, I was like, oh, this screen right here. I like that suit. They feel like you were doing too much, Miss Badu 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 Badu. Because the legs, if you just would have had it, you know what I'm saying, and you turned around, and you flew away like a butterfly, it would have been all right. See, they messing up my set. That is it.